We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The start that he was looking for as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And maybe shades of the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. Here's Jackson to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Aaron Donald with a sack. The defense is always talking about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
And you're talking about doing it so early in the game because all week long, there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the ball. How do we keep this guy hemmed in? How do we tackle him? To get it done that early, that's got to feel great for them.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Travis Etienne. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Andre Cisco there on the stop. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw there hauled in by Claypool. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
I I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Rodgers going to throw. Got an open man. It's Ruggs. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And the Ravens are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. From the gun, it's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Jackson from the shotgun. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On second down, Dobbins, and very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. You hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
We're scoreless after 1. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. Here's Sterling Hoffrichter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Returnable here for Davis. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Second and 10.
Hey, pick 26. Move. 29 for Mike. Mike 29. Hey, let's get this. Hey, Mike. 29 is Mike.
To throw, it's Rodgers.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Sisco.
And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender. From there, he doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
A try here for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0.
Makes the score Ravens 7, Steelers 0.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Returnable here for Davis.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Hey, check back, back six. Bandit. Rush in. Come out. Rush in.
Now they try the right side here. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in this 2nd quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one, and they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception, tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Here's a give to Dobbins.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
Now Jackson. Got a man. It's Tunyon. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Now Jackson on first down. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll run with Dobbins. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Here we go. Check. Switch. Hey, no. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn
up. One more time with Dobbins. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Jackson. He's got it. Touchdown. J.K. Dobbins. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Ravens will extend their lead. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Returnable here for Davis. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. We remind you that coming up at the half, we'll hand things off to Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have scores from earlier today, plus a look ahead as well, so you won't want to miss that. A lot going on here in week 1. But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Mike 6. Back one. Hey, check Mike 6.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Throw left side, taken in by Claypool. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. Rodgers now on first down. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Escapes the sack. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Hey, check Mike 11. Check Mike 11.
Here's Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this one will be touchdown right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked by Kevin Byard. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick 6. Got him in, it's Brown. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
And just a yard to go here on second down. Now it's Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
Jackson on first down. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
Well, he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago as he starts off week one picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a big year. He just gave us excellent evidence of his belief.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Trey Flowers picks it, and the Ravens force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing, they're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
After the interception, here's Jackson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Yards to go.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away, and it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to ETN. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Got a man. It's Darren Waller. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 30.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Running out of the gun with ETN. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Rodgers now to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 41. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
8 yards to go on 2nd down. Play action. It's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust.
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take the blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
On 1st down, Dobbins. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? To be able to get him in the 2nd round, that's what I call a steal.
They'll run. It's Dobbins. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener.
Dobbins running out of the gun. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Well, the terrible towels here at Heinz Field out in full force. Here's 3rd and long. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Blankenship's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
They turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Kill.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Buying time to his left. Rodgers sliding to his stop with a 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12.
It's our time. It's our time. 26. Check Mike 11. Come on, the ball hard. Hey, check.
Now it's Rodgers. Pass caught by Ruggs, middle of the field. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. He'll find ETN out of the backfield. And some room to roam now. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play there on the screen pass. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now Rodgers. Reception here by Ruggs. 7 yards, the pickup there. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. A very costly sack there on 3rd and goal. Pushes him back big time. And now you'd figure the field goal team coming on 4th. 1st down, a bit of a disaster. And now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Rodgers going to throw. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
To throw is Rodgers. This is caught. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
On the sneak, Rodgers. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Aaron Rodgers keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Steelers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
They go play action with Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Devin Bush gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson, they'll roll him out right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. And now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to get a review of that last play. So the decision to challenge does not pan out, and that's also going to cost him a timeout. The Ravens on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. Throwing is Jackson. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to open. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. It's a first down and more for Dobbins. And down to the 16-yard line.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air.
even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. A gain of 3, second down. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Now Dobbins again on second down.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
46 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Dobbins.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, second and goal. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it third and goal now as they look for that final touchdown to salt this one away. They'll try to run with Dobbins. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
And in this situation, a field goal doesn't help you a whole lot, but I think you've got to take it because I think you're a little too far back to go for it on fourth down. But we also know the offensive coordinator's in the head coach's ear trying to talk him into going for it right here.
Rodrigo Blankenship with an important one.
From the left hash, a chip shot here.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, Those will be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution.
And he's got the hook up to Ruggs.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Going for it, here's Etienne. And they will get the conversion on 4th down to stay alive, but time, not an ally.
5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and 10.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Back to throw, Rodgers. And now here is another interception. Picked off right around the 43.
And the Ravens have just about sewn up this football game.
When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that, because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Ravens, they start the season with a great win on the road here in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.